51. A conversation about funerals and their lessons. Son. Dad, when someone attends a funeral, what can they learn from it? Father. My son, funerals are moments of sorrow, but also opportunities to reflect on our lives and what we leave behind. Son, can you explain that further? Father. First, we learn about the value of life. When we see someone departing from this world, we realize that life is short, and we should live it wisely and with love. Son, what does that mean for an individual? Father, it means we should use our time well, respect and love others, and do good every day because we don't know when our journey will end. Son, is there anything else we can learn? Father, yes, we learn about social unity. When you attend a funeral, you'll see people from different generations and classes coming together to mourn and comfort each other. This teaches us that community is very important in difficult times. Son, it sounds like it's also a chance to evaluate our relationships with others. Father, absolutely. Funerals teach us to resolve conflicts and live peacefully. Often, we realize that hostility and hatred are useless because we're all here for just a short while. Son, that's meaningful. Is there another lesson to learn? Father, yes, we learn the importance of preparation. Sometimes, funerals reveal how well or poorly someone prepared for their final journey. We should have both physical and spiritual preparations like family planning and following our religious or social morals. Son, I understand now, Dad. So, attending funerals is not only about mourning, but also about learning and self-reflection. Father, you're absolutely right, my son. If we learn from the lives of those who went before us, we can live well and leave a good legacy for future generations. Son, thank you, Dad, for enlightening me. Father, you're welcome, my son. It's my duty to ensure you receive good life lessons. 52. A conversation about success and education. Son. Dad, I see you live a luxurious life, but I never heard that you finished school. How can you have all this success without higher education? Father, my son, that's a good question. Education is very important, but it's not the only path to success. My success comes from hard work, discipline, and learning from life itself. Son, can you explain more? Do you mean school is not important? Father, no, my son. School is very important because it gives you basic knowledge and prepares you for life. But also, there are other things that contribute to success such as working hard, being disciplined, and making good use of opportunities. Son, so how did you manage to get to where you are? Father, I started with small jobs. I learned business through experience, met people who gave me life wisdom, and I practiced financial discipline. I also respected others and was always ready to learn every day, even if I wasn't in a classroom. Son, do you think young people today can succeed even if they don't get higher education? Father, yes, but in a different way. They have many more opportunities through technology, entrepreneurship, and even online learning. But I still encourage young people to value education, because it makes their journey in life easier. Son, so, would you say that success requires a combination of education, hard work, and discipline? Father, absolutely. And also, you need to have good morals, respect time, and use opportunities wisely. There's no single way to succeed, but everyone should make an effort to reach their goals. Son, thank you, Dad. I've learned that education is a great support, but without hard work, discipline, and patience, it can't bring complete success. Father, you're absolutely right, my son. Remember, never give up even when you face challenges. Always learn, work hard, and seek new opportunities. Son, I will keep that in mind, Dad. Thank you for this wisdom. Father, you're welcome, my son. My goal is to see you succeed and contribute to the development of your community. 53. Conversation about rich people's parents and their fate. Child. Dad, there's a proverb that says, "When a hair grows old, it suckles from its offspring." I think it means that when someone gets old, their children should take care of them. But Dad, why do we often hear that the mothers of rich children end up in public shelters or without support? Father, my child, that's a deep question with important lessons for society. In our traditions, when a parent reaches old age, it is the children's responsibility to take care of them, but in reality, this doesn't always happen. Child, why do their children fail to help them even though they have wealth and financial capability? Father, there are many reasons. First, some children, after becoming successful, lose their family values and fail to appreciate their parents' contribution. They forget that their success was due to their parents' sacrifices and efforts. Child, that's very sad. Are there other reasons? Father, yes. Sometimes parents were very committed to their children but didn't build a loving and cohesive family relationship. They focused on ensuring their children got education and wealth but forgot to teach them the value of humanity, unity, and the duty to support one another. Child, so financial success alone is not enough to build a united family? Father, exactly. A strong family cannot be built with money alone. It needs love, moral upbringing, and good communication between parents and children. Child, is there any way to prevent this situation from continuing? Father, yes, society should restore the values of respecting and appreciating parents. Children should be taught from a young age that parents are not a burden but a blessing. Also, parents should wisely plan for their old age, for example, by saving or preparing for retirement. Child, that's a big lesson for society. So, parents should raise their children with good morals, and children should respect their parents even when they become successful? Father, that is essential. In life, wealth can be lost, but the family should remain strong. When parents work hard to raise their children, it's the children's duty to care for and respect their parents in old age. Child, I understand now, Dad. This is a lesson everyone should take seriously. Father, you're right, my child. Let's not raise a generation of people who don't care, but a generation filled with love, unity, and good values. 54. Conversation about success and morals. Child. Dad, I've noticed that many successful people are associated with mysterious things. Is it necessary to deal with evil spirits to be successful? Father, my child, that's a belief that has become common in society, but it's not true that success must involve dark forces. True success comes from hard work, wisdom, discipline, and good morals. Child, but Dad, why do some people believe it's impossible to be rich without the help of dark powers? Father, it's because many people want shortcuts to success. When they see others succeed, they assume there's a hidden secret instead of recognizing their hard work and commitment. Second child, so Dad, you mean someone can be successful without involving evil spirits? Father, absolutely. The right path to success is to have goals, work hard, have financial discipline, and continue learning. True success lasts long and doesn't carry guilt or fear. First child, then why do some people choose dark paths? Father, many are in a rush to gain wealth without going through the proper process of effort and patience. Others are influenced by friends or society that tells them to use unethical means to succeed. Second child, but Dad, what should someone do to avoid falling into that trap? Father, first, it's important to have strong faith and hold on to good morals. Second, know that real success takes time and patience. Third, avoid friends or groups that encourage shortcuts to success. First child, can you give us an example of someone who became successful without using shortcuts? Father, yes. There are many people who started from humble beginnings and are now successful entrepreneurs, community leaders, or professionals. They used education, hard work, and discipline to get there. A good example is those who work legally and ethically, respecting values and the law. Second child, that's encouraging. So, if someone works hard and maintains good morals, they can still succeed? Father, absolutely. Remember, legitimate success brings peace of mind, respect in the community, and a good legacy for future generations. First child, thank you, Dad, for this lesson. Now I understand that not every successful person worked with evil forces, some succeeded through honest effort. Second child, yes, and I've learned that shortcuts can have serious consequences later. Father, you've understood well, my children. Strive to work hard, be honest and patient. True success will come in its time, and you'll enjoy it peacefully. Children, thank you so much, Dad. Father, you're welcome, my children. Remember, true success comes through honesty and legitimate effort. 55. Conversation about intoxicants. Child. Dad, I'd like to ask you a question. Father, go ahead, my child, I'm listening. Child. Why do people use intoxicants like alcohol and cigarettes even though they harm the human body? Father, that's a very good question, my child. People use intoxicants for different reasons. Some do it for fun, to relieve stress, or to follow their friends' habits. But it's true that intoxicants have serious health effects. Child, if they're harmful, why are they sold and people keep using them? Father, because of habit and business. Companies that sell intoxicants make huge profits, and some people find it hard to stop because their bodies crave them. Child, but there are warnings on alcohol bottles and cigarette packs. Why don't people pay attention? Father, that's a strange thing. Many people ignore those warnings or think they won't be affected quickly. Some know the dangers but can't stop due to addiction. Child, is there a way to help people stop using intoxicants? Father, yes, my child. First, education is key. We must inform people about the effects of intoxicants on their health and lives. Second, one should avoid bad friends who encourage drug use. Third, it's important to help addicts seek medical and psychological support to quit. Child, and what should we do as a society? Father, we should promote healthy living and fight the abuse of intoxicants. We should encourage young people to engage in useful activities like sports, reading, and volunteering instead of wasting time in drunkenness. Child, thanks for the explanation, Dad. I'll tell my friends not to get into drinking so they can protect their health. Father, well done, my child. That's exactly the kind of society I hope for, young people who are self-aware and make wise decisions for their lives. Child, thank you, Dad. Father, you're welcome, my child. 56. Conversation about marriage. Child. Dad, I'd like to ask you a question. Father, ask my child, I'm listening. Child, what can show me that I'm ready for marriage? Father, that's a very important question, my child. Marriage isn't something to rush into. It requires readiness physically, mentally, emotionally, and financially. There are several things that can indicate whether you're ready or not. Child, what are those things, Dad? Father, first, the ability to be independent. Before getting married, it's important to be financially self-reliant so you're not dependent on parents or others. Child, that makes sense. What else? Father, second, the ability to handle challenges. Marriage is not just about the wedding day, it's about everyday life and its challenges. If you can't handle small problems or resolve conflicts wisely, then you're not ready for marriage. Child, so marriage has its challenges? Father, absolutely. There's no marriage without challenges. But what matters is how you deal with them. If you're ready to discuss respectfully, listen, and seek solutions instead of blaming, that's a sign you can handle marriage. Child, I understand. What about love? Father, true love is very important. But love alone isn't enough for marriage. There must be respect, patience, and willingness to help one another. If you love someone but lack respect or patience, then love alone won't sustain the marriage. Child, now I'm starting to understand. Is there anything else to consider? Father, yes. Willingness to take responsibility. Marriage comes with duties. If you still enjoy total freedom without considering another person, then you're not ready. You need to have a caring heart, willing to help and cooperate with your partner in every situation. Child, that's clear. What about morals and faith? Father, morals and faith are the foundation of a strong marriage. If you and your partner understand each other morally and share similar life goals, that's a good sign. Faith helps a marriage stand on solid principles of integrity and trust. Child, Dad, you've shared so much meaningful information. This means someone shouldn't rush into marriage without self-reflection. Father, exactly. Marriage is not a race or something to do because of pressure from society. It's a lifelong decision, and it's important to go into it with understanding and true readiness. Child, thank you so much, Dad. I'll reflect and make sure I meet those criteria before deciding on marriage. Father, congratulations, my child. You've taken the right step by asking and understanding. Don't rush. Take your time and make wise decisions for your life. Child, I understand. Thanks again, Dad. Father, you're welcome, my child. May God help you in your life journey. 57. Conversation about money management. Child. Dad, I have an important question for you. Father, ask my child, I'm here to help you. Child, what advice can you give me about managing money as the head of a family? Father, that's a very wise question, my child. Managing money wisely is one of the most important things for anyone leading a family. There are several principles you can follow to ensure your money is used in a good and beneficial way. 1. Create a budget. Father, first, have a budget. You must know how much money you earn and how you spend it. A budget helps you plan your income and expenses so you don't fall into debt or unplanned spending. Child, does that mean I should write down all my income and all my expenses? Father, yes, it's good to do that. Prioritize essential needs like food, rent, education, and healthcare before thinking about luxuries. 2. Avoid unnecessary debt. Father, don't rush to borrow money all the time. Unnecessary debts can lead you into big financial problems. If you must borrow, make sure it's for something meaningful, like starting a business or buying long-term assets. Child, what about using credit cards? Father, credit cards can be useful, but they can also get you into trouble if not used wisely. Avoid using credit cards for things you don't really need. 3. Invest for growth. Father, money should work for you, not just be spent. Invest in things that can increase your income, such as small businesses, real estate, or your own education and that of your family. Child, can I invest even if my income is small? Father, yes. Start small, even with monthly savings. A small capital can grow gradually, and eventually become something big. 4. Learn to live within your means. Father, avoid living a luxurious life that doesn't match your income. Many people get into trouble because they want to live like others without considering their own situation. Child, so it's better to live a simple life but with financial stability? Father, exactly. Don't live to compete with others. Instead, use your money in a way that suits you and ensures your family has a peaceful and stable life. 5. Save for emergencies. Father, life has its challenges, and there are times when unexpected costs may arise, like illness, accidents, or job loss. It's important to have emergency savings to handle such situations. Child, how much should emergency savings be? Father, try to save enough to cover 3 to 6 months of your essential expenses. This will help you handle challenges without heavily affecting your life. 6. Give and help others. Father, finally, remember that money is not just for your own use. Help those in need, whether it's your family, your community, or through charitable work. When you give to others, you receive more blessings and build a better society. Child, that's very important. I'll start applying your advice, Dad. Father, congratulations, my child. If you follow these principles, you'll manage your money wisely and be a good leader of your family. Child, thank you very much for these lessons, Dad. Father, you're welcome, my child. I wish you a peaceful and successful life. 58. Conversation about reading books. Child. Dad, I've been thinking about something. Father, what's on your mind, my child? Child, I've heard that reading books is very important, but I don't know where to start. Can you give me some advice? Father, that's a wonderful question, my child. Reading books is one of the best habits you can develop. Books open your mind and provide knowledge that can shape your life. Child, but there are so many books. How do I know which ones are best? Father, you're right, there are many books out there, but it's important to choose books that align with your goals. Start by identifying what you're interested in. For example, are you interested in personal development, history, or fiction? Child: I'm interested in self-improvement and learning new skills. Father: excellent choice. For self-improvement, I recommend books that teach about life skills, leadership, financial management, and relationships. These books will help you grow as a person and make better decisions in life. Child: that sounds great. What else should I consider? Father: another key thing is consistency. Don't just read a book and forget it. Read regularly and take notes. Apply the lessons you learn to your life. Child: so, it's not just about reading, but about learning and applying what I read? Father: exactly. A book is just a tool. What matters is how you use the knowledge from it. For instance, if you read a book on time management, but you don't manage your time well, the book has not fulfilled its purpose. Child: that makes sense. What about fiction books? Are they also important? Father: absolutely. Fiction books are great for expanding your imagination and improving creativity. They also teach valuable life lessons through stories. For example, many people have learned great lessons from books like The Little Prince or To Kill a Mockingbird. Child: I've heard of those books. So, reading fiction can teach me important things too? Father: yes, indeed. Fiction opens your heart to different experiences and perspectives. It can make you more empathetic and understanding of others. Child: I never thought about it that way. Should I focus on reading one book at a time? Father: it's good to focus on one book, but you can also read multiple books on different topics if you manage your time well. Just be sure to finish what you start. Child: I understand now. It's not just about reading for fun, it's about learning and growing. Father: exactly. Books are powerful tools, and if you use them wisely, they can guide you to success. Child: thank you so much, Dad. I'll start reading more and apply the lessons. Father: I'm proud of you, my child. Reading is a lifelong habit that will always benefit you. Enjoy your journey of reading. 59. Conversation about distributing inheritance while still alive. Son: Dad, is it a good idea to distribute your inheritance to your children while you're still alive? Father: my child, that's a very thoughtful question. Distributing inheritance while someone is still alive has both benefits and challenges. It requires wisdom and good planning to ensure fairness, peace, and the development of the family. Benefits of distributing inheritance while still alive. 1. Avoiding family conflicts. Father: often, inheritance given after the parent's death leads to conflicts among children and relatives. Sometimes, siblings fight to the extent of breaking apart. However, if the inheritance is distributed while the person is still alive, they can manage the division fairly and prevent future disputes. Son: so if a father distributes his inheritance early, it can help avoid family conflicts? Father: yes. By managing the division themselves, the parent can ensure that each child gets their rightful share without bias or future quarrels. 2. Building a child's future early. Father: early distribution of inheritance can help children improve their lives. For example, if a child wants to start a business or continue their education, they can use part of the inheritance for their development. Son: so, early distribution of inheritance helps children have a good foundation for life? Father: exactly. Instead of waiting until after the parent's death, children can use the wealth while they are still young and need financial support. 3. Misuse of inheritance. Father: some children lack financial discipline. When they receive inheritance early, they might use it for luxury and pleasure instead of development. Son: Dad, does that mean a parent should ensure their children have good financial discipline before distributing inheritance? Father: yes, a parent can teach their children about proper spending and the importance of investing before giving them their inheritance. Wise ways to distribute inheritance. 1. Make formal plans. A parent can write a will outlining the fair distribution of their wealth. 2. Teach children to be self-reliant. Instead of giving everything in one go, A parent can distribute the wealth gradually while guiding children on how to use it. 3. Invest part of the wealth for the future. A parent can invest part of their wealth in long-term ventures such as pension funds or sustainable businesses. 4. Consider the children's character and morality. It's important to assess whether the children are ready to manage wealth wisely before distributing inheritance. Son, Dad, thank you for this explanation. I now understand that distributing inheritance early can have both benefits and challenges. Father, yes, my child, this requires wisdom and a good plan. If a parent chooses to distribute their inheritance while alive, it's important to ensure they do so fairly, wisely, and in a way that will not cause harm to the family. Son, thank you so much for this lesson. I will ensure that my siblings and I learn how to manage wealth wisely. Father, that's a good thing, my child. Remember, inheritance is not just wealth, it also includes the values, discipline, and knowledge you receive from your parents. So, manage all of it wisely. 60. A thing a father doesn't want his child to do. Son, Dad, what is something you would not want me to do in my life? Father, my child, that is a very good question. As a parent, I wish to see your life prosperous and successful. There are several things I would like you to avoid so that you can have a happy and respectable life. 1. Avoid bad friends. Father, my child, friends can either lift you up or bring you down. I would like you to avoid bad friends who encourage you to do bad things like drinking, laziness, or harming others. Son, so, it's important to choose friends who encourage me to do good things? Father, yes. Choose friends who motivate you to study, work hard, and cultivate good character. 2. Avoid drug abuse and excessive drinking. Father, I would like you to completely avoid using drugs and excessive drinking. These things ruin your health, affect your life, and can cause you to lose direction. Son, Dad, why do some people fall into addiction or substance abuse? Father, many start by being influenced by their peers or by facing life challenges. Instead of handling their problems in a healthy way, they turn to drinking and drugs, thinking it will ease their sorrow. But in the end, it leads to destruction. 3. Lack of financial discipline. Father, I would like you to learn how to use money wisely. Don't spend your money on luxuries and useless things. Instead, save, invest, and spend on important things like education and your development. Son, does that mean I need to have a plan for how I spend my money? Father, yes. Learn to live within your means and avoid the temptation of unnecessary things. 4. Disregarding education and knowledge. Father, education is a great treasure in life. I would like you to continue learning every day, even after school. Read books, seek new knowledge, and work hard in everything you do. Son, so, even after finishing school, it's still important to keep learning? Father, absolutely. Education doesn't end in the classroom. Successful people continue learning throughout their lives. 5. Having pride in thinking you're better than others. Father, my child, you should be humble and treat others with respect. Don't think you're better than others because of wealth, education, or status. Son, Dad, there are many people with pride who seem to be more loved. What does that mean? Father, pride is a trap. People may fear you but not necessarily respect you. True respect comes from humility, doing good deeds, and respecting others. 6. Fearing failure or giving up. Father, I would like you to avoid the fear of failure. Life is a journey full of challenges, and everyone faces setbacks. If you fail, don't give up, learn from your mistakes, and move forward. Son, so failure isn't the end of the road? Father, not at all. Failure is a lesson. If you learn from your mistakes, you will become wiser and stronger. Son, thank you so much for your advice, Dad. I will avoid bad friends, misuse of money, addiction, pride, and the fear of failure. Father, that's wise, my child. I wish you a life full of blessings, wisdom, and success. Remember, you choose your path, but every decision has consequences. Choose good, and your life will be peaceful and joyful. Son, thank you so much, Dad. I will follow your advice. Father, that's how it should be, my child. I will be with you every step of your life, praying for your success and well-being. 61. A conversation about being employed or self-employed. Son, Dad, between being employed and being self-employed, which is the better idea for my life? Father, my son, that's a very good question. Each path has its benefits and challenges. You should choose based on your goals, talents, and life situation. Let's break down the two options in detail. It can also help others in the community. 1. Being employed. Being employed is when a person works for an employer and receives a salary or other compensation for the work they do. Advantages of being employed. Regular income. You receive a monthly salary, making it easier to plan your expenses. Job security. In a good environment, a job can provide financial protection and benefits such as health insurance and pension. Training and experience. You get the opportunity to learn from your superiors and improve your skills. Career advancement. There is room for promotion and increased income. Challenges of being employed. Limited freedom. You work under the rules and conditions set by your employer. High competition. Jobs are often few, and you may have to work hard without fair compensation. Risk of job loss. Economic changes or company issues may lead to layoffs. 2. Being self-employed. Self-employment is when you start your own business or work independently instead of relying on an employer. Advantages of being self-employed. Freedom of decision. You are your own boss and can choose your work schedule and the type of work you want to do. Opportunity for greater income. If your business succeeds, you can earn more than you would as an employee. Creativity and growth. You have the chance to use your talents and develop new ways to solve community problems. Business legacy. A business can become a family inheritance and last for generations. Challenges of being self-employed. Financial risk. Starting a business is often difficult, and it may take time to become profitable. Many responsibilities. You have to manage everything from marketing and accounting to customer service. Uncertain income. Your earnings can vary, especially in the early stages of the business. 3. Which is the best option? There is no single correct answer. Each person should choose based on their own situation. If you like the security of a salary and structured environment, then employment is a good option. If you prefer freedom and are ready to face the challenges of building a business, then self-employment might be better. Some people start by being employed to gain experience, then become self-employed later. 4. Advice for the community. The community should encourage young people to choose the path that suits them based on their skills and dreams. Parents and teachers can help youth understand the importance of self-reliance and creating employment opportunities rather than relying solely on employment. The government and private institutions should support small businesses and entrepreneurs by providing affordable loans and entrepreneurship training. Conclusion. Son, thank you so much, Dad, for this explanation. Now I understand that each path has its benefits and challenges. Father, yes, my son. What matters is knowing what you want, learning, and working hard. Whatever you choose, do it with passion and discipline. Son, I'm very grateful. I'll keep in mind everything you've taught me. Father, that's the most important thing, my son. Remember, life is about choosing and learning. 62. Conversation about the importance of marrying a wife from our tribe. Son. Father, is there any importance in marrying a wife from our tribe? Father, my son, that is a very important question, and it can have different answers depending on individual perspectives, society, and our traditions. There are advantages and challenges related to marrying within our tribe and also to intertribal marriages. Let us look at it in detail so that our community can learn. 1. Advantages of marrying a wife from our tribe. Preservation of culture and traditions. Marrying within our tribe can help preserve our culture, language, and traditions. Children born in such a marriage will be raised with our cultural values. Social understanding. Couples from the same tribe often have a deep understanding of the way of life, family responsibilities, and community expectations. Ease of communication. Communication between the couple, parents, and relatives is easier because they share the same language and perspective on life. Support from family. Family and community often support marriages within their tribe, seeing it as a way to strengthen social unity. Reduced cultural conflicts. Since both spouses come from the same community, there is a lower likelihood of cultural or religious conflicts that may arise in intertribal marriages. 2. Challenges of marrying a wife from only our tribe. Lack of social diversity. Marrying only within the tribe may limit the opportunity to learn new cultures and perspectives from people of other tribes. Discrimination and lack of freedom to choose. If someone has a partner from another tribe but is pressured to marry within their own, they may feel deprived of the right to love and choose their partner freely. Deterioration of relationships if there is no true love. Marriage should not just be about preserving culture, but should be built on love, respect, and mutual understanding. If a marriage is forced within the tribe, it may lack true happiness and harmony. 3. Advantages of marrying someone from a different tribe. Promoting national unity. Marriages between different tribes can help break tribal boundaries and strengthen national cohesion. Learning new cultures. A person marrying someone from another tribe gains the opportunity to learn new traditions, thus enhancing their knowledge and life experiences. Reducing tribal discrimination. Marriages between different tribes promote equality and reduce tribal-based discrimination. Children gain a cultural richness. Children from such marriages grow up appreciating and respecting both cultures, thus having a broader perspective on life. 4. Advice to the community. Marriage should be based on free will and built on love, respect, and understanding rather than tribal pressure. While it is good to preserve our traditions, it is important to respect a person's right to choose their partner regardless of their tribe. The community should promote unity and solidarity between tribes to reduce tribal discrimination in marriages. Parents and elders should guide the youth on the importance of values, rather than forcing marriages based solely on tribal affiliations. 5. Conclusion. Son, thank you, Father, for this explanation. Now I understand that marrying within our tribe has its advantages, but it is not a must if love and understanding exist between the couple. Father, yes, my son, what is most important is true love, respect, and understanding in marriage. The tribe is not more important than happiness and peace in marriage. Son, I will consider all of this, Father. Thank you for these teachings. Father, yes, my son, remember that marriage is a life decision, so choose wisely and with good judgment. 63. Things to consider before quitting a job. Son. Father, before quitting a job, what are the things a person should consider? Father, my son, quitting a job is a major decision that can have financial, social, and even emotional consequences. Before making this decision, there are important things you should consider to avoid regrets. Let's discuss them in detail so that the community can learn. 1. Reasons for quitting a job. Do you have valid reasons for quitting? One should ask themselves, why am I quitting my job? There is a difference between quitting for a better opportunity and quitting out of anger or frustration. Acceptable reasons could be low salary, poor working conditions, seeking career advancement, or a desire for a change in life direction. What's your plan after quitting? Do you have another job lined up, or do you plan to start a business? Do not rush to quit without a clear plan for the future. 2. Financial situation. Do you have enough savings? Before quitting, ensure you have savings for at least 6 to 12 months of living expenses. This will help you cover bills while looking for a new job or starting a business. Loans and debts. If you have debts such as bank loans, rent, or car loans, you should have a plan for how to pay them off after quitting. Health insurance and retirement benefits. Make sure you understand the impact quitting will have on your health insurance and retirement benefits. Do you have a plan for covering your health insurance in the period without employment? 3. Future opportunities. Do you have a new job or alternative business? It's wise to secure another job or start a business before quitting your current job. Avoid quitting out of anger without being sure of a new source of income. Social network and trustworthy people. Have a network of people who can help you find new job opportunities or give business advice. Do not sever ties with employers or colleagues in a bad way, as they may help you in the future. Gaining new skills. If you plan to be self-employed, ensure you have enough skills and knowledge in the industry you want to enter. Prepare for new challenges by learning more. 4. Importance of discussing with close ones. Talking with family before making the decision. It's important to talk to your family, as they will be directly affected by your decision. Get their opinions and discuss financial plans to avoid stress after quitting your job. Advice from professionals. You can consult with a financial advisor or a career expert about the effects of quitting and the best ways to prepare. 5. Alternative options before quitting. Negotiating with employer. If the issue is low salary, poor working conditions, or lack of career advancement, try talking to your employer first. Sometimes negotiations can improve your work conditions without needing to quit. Examining the job market. Before quitting, check if there are plenty of opportunities in your industry or if you need new skills to compete in the job market. Starting a side business. If you're thinking of self-employment, you can start a small business on the side while continuing with your current job until you have enough income to quit. 6. Advice to the community. Do not quit a job out of anger or without a plan. Research, prepare financially, and find the best way to leave with respect. Learn new skills before leaving. Make sure you have the knowledge to find another job or start a business. Maintain good relationships with your employer. This can help you in the future if you need references or another job opportunity. Prepare mentally and emotionally. Quitting a job can be stressful, so be ready for new challenges. Conclusion. Son, thank you, Father, for these lessons. Now I understand that quitting a job is not something to do hastily. It requires planning and good preparation. Father, yes, my son, the decision to quit a job is a serious one and should be made wisely. Ensure you have a clear plan for your life after work. Son, I will consider all these points, Father. Thank you for your wise advice. Father, you're welcome, my son. Remember, life is a journey, and every step you take should be taken with wisdom. 64. The benefits of having a good name in a bank and the correct use of loans. In many societies, a good name in a bank is highly valuable, especially when it comes to financial services such as loans, savings accounts, and investments. A good name in the bank means that a person has a good financial history, can repay their debts on time, and is trusted within the financial sector. Benefits of having a good name in a bank. 1. Ease of obtaining loans. People with a good financial record get loans quickly and under favorable terms because the bank trusts they will repay without issues. 2. Low interest rates. Banks offer people with good credit scores lower interest rates, which reduces the cost of the loan and helps the person achieve their financial goals. 3. Investment opportunities. People with a good name in the bank can get loans for business, house purchases, or other investments that can increase their wealth. 4. Respect and trust in the community. Having a good financial record makes a person trusted in the community and also among financial institutions, which helps in establishing good business collaborations. Correct use of loans. To benefit from a loan, it is important to ensure that it is used for the right purposes. 1. Avoid unnecessary loans. Loans should be taken for essential reasons such as education, house construction, or business, and not for unnecessary luxuries. 2. Pay on time. Paying the loan on time helps avoid additional interest penalties and improves the financial record for future endeavors. 3. Avoid multiple loans at once. Taking multiple loans can create a huge debt burden, which can affect a person's financial ability. 4. Use loans for investment. Instead of using loans for unnecessary expenses, it is better to invest in income-generating projects like business or agriculture. Conclusion. Having a good name in the bank is an important asset that opens many financial opportunities. This helps individuals get loans on favorable terms and strengthen their economic standing. By using loans wisely and repaying on time, the community can rise economically and enjoy better lives in the future. 65. First conversation between father and son. Son. Dad, there is a saying that goes, if you don't eat food like food, you will eat it like poison. Can you explain it to me, please? Father, yes, my son, this is a saying with deep meaning. It means that we should eat food in the right way, at the right time, and in the right amount. Otherwise, food can become a source of problems instead of good health. Son, for example, how can food become poison? Father, if you eat too much food, you may end up with illnesses like obesity, diabetes, or high blood pressure. Also, eating foods that are not nutritious, like foods high in fats and sugars, can weaken the body instead of strengthening it. Son, aha, now I understand. Is there a significance to eating at the right time? Father, of course. Eating without a proper schedule, like eating too late at night or going long periods without eating, can affect your stomach health and digestive system. For instance, eating heavy meals before sleeping can cause digestive problems or even weight gain. Son, so if a person follows a good eating schedule, they can avoid eating food like poison? Father, exactly, my son. You should eat a balanced meal with a mix of proteins, carbohydrates, and vitamins, drink enough water, and avoid eating foods with harmful chemicals or that are not clean. This is the best way to ensure that food gives you good health instead of causing diseases. Son, thank you for these lessons, Dad. I will try to eat better and share this message with my friends. Father, that's a good way to go, my son. Remember, health is wealth. If you respect your body by eating well, you will live a long and happy life full of energy. Benefits to the community. This saying should guide our community to avoid the dangers of poor eating habits. We should 1. Promote good nutrition, eat natural foods that are rich in nutrients. 2. Avoid harmful foods, cut down on foods high in fats, sugars, and chemicals. 3. Eat on a proper schedule, have meals in the morning, afternoon, and evening at the right times. 4. Teach our children, educate them from an early age about the importance of eating for health. By following these, our community will avoid many diseases caused by poor eating habits, and we will live healthier and stronger lives. 66. Second conversation between father and son. Son. Dad, why have you never gone to jail even at your old age? What's your secret? Father, my son, there's no big secret, just the right decisions I made in my life. Avoiding jail requires discipline, respect for the law, and choosing good friends. Son, can you explain more about that? Father, first and foremost, I decided from a young age to respect the law. I realized that living by the rules of society would prevent me from getting into trouble. Most people who end up in jail are those who ignore the law or make rash decisions. Son, but what about friends? Father, that's a very important issue. Bad friends can lead you down the wrong path. If you surround yourself with people who break the law, there's a high chance you'll be tempted to do the same. I've made sure to choose people who respect life, work, and the law. Son, have you ever faced temptations? Father, of course, my son. In life, there are many challenges. There were times when I was tempted to get involved in criminal acts, but I learned to say no. Discipline and respecting my conscience helped me avoid trouble. Son, so discipline is really important? Father, yes. Discipline is what makes a person stick to their responsibilities and avoid bad things. Many people who end up in jail are those who lack discipline in their lives, people who put desires ahead of wisdom. Son, this means that if society follows this, fewer people will go to jail? Father, absolutely. If people follow the law, choose good friends, have discipline, and make wise decisions, the number of people going to jail will drastically decrease. Son, thank you so much, Dad. I will learn from you and share these teachings with my friends. Father, that's a great thing to do, my son. Remember, life is the result of your decisions. If you make good choices today, your tomorrow will be better. Benefits to the community. This conversation teaches us that 1. Respect the law, avoid breaking the law to prevent getting into trouble. 2. Choose good friends. The people you associate with can lift you up or bring you down. 3. Have life discipline. Recognize your responsibilities and avoid bad desires. 4. Make wise decisions. Think before you act, because every action has consequences. If our community follows these principles, the number of people who end up in jail will decrease, and we will live in a peaceful and progressive society. 67. Third dialogue between father and son. Son, father, can you explain in detail the meaning of the saying, "Do not give up in life"? Father, my son, this saying means that no matter what challenges you face, you should never give up. Life has its ups and downs, but it is those who keep fighting who succeed. Son, but father, sometimes a person tries many times and still fails. What do you say about that? Father, that is true, my son. But remember, failure is not the end of the journey. Failure is part of learning. Every time you fail, you gain new experience that helps you perform better next time. Son, so, what should a person do to avoid being discouraged? Father, first, learn from your mistakes. Second, be patient and persistent. Good things don't happen overnight. They require effort and time. Third, set goals for yourself and don't give up until you reach them. Son, do you know anyone who faced challenges but never gave up and eventually succeeded? Father, yes. Look at people like Thomas Edison, who failed thousands of times before discovering the electric light bulb. If he had given up, we might not have electric light today. Also, there is Nelson Mandela, who spent many years in prison but never gave up in his struggle for justice and freedom. Son, now I understand, father. So, everyone has a chance to succeed, as long as they don't give up? Father, exactly, my son. If you persist in your efforts, one day you will succeed. Remember, even a slow journey reaches its destination. Son, thank you very much, father. I will strive to be patient and keep fighting without giving up. Father, that's the goal, my son. Remember, true heroes are those who continue to fight even when they face obstacles. Benefits for the community. The saying, "Do not give up," is an important message for the community. To have a successful community, we must, 1. Encourage patience. Failure is not the end, but the beginning of learning. 2. Set goals. Everyone should have goals and work hard to achieve them. 3. Motivate the youth. Many young people give up too soon. We should guide and inspire them. 4. Learn from those who came before. Reading stories of people who faced challenges and succeeded can give us the strength to keep moving forward. Together, by living by the philosophy of not giving up, our community will have hardworking, patient, and highly successful people